Today we are going to talk about something that you might have heard of but don't really understand. Structured settlements. Do you know those commercials where people say I have a structured settlement and I need cash now? Well, what does that even mean? Why would anyone want to sell their future payments for a lump sum of money? In this video, we are going to explain what structured settlements are, how they work, and what are the pros and cons of selling them. So if you're curious about this topic, or if you're one of those people who needs cash now, then keep watching. But before we get into it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Alright, let's get started. Many civil disputes culminate in one person or organization paying money to another to make up for the wrongdone. If the monetary award by the court of law is small enough, the wronged party may be able to secure a lump sum settlement. However, if the monetary award is very large, a structured settlement annuity can be created. A structured settlement is an alternative to a court-ordered lump sum payment after a lawsuit. Rather than collecting money up front, plaintiffs who choose a structured settlement receive a series of payments over time. Many considerations will influence the decision as to whether you should choose a lump sum payout or a structured settlement. This shall include your tax burden, how you want to make use of the money, and if you require support in handling a big sum of money. Structured settlements have a long history, but this was not always the case. The modern use of these payments can be traced back to the 1960s in Canada, when a medicine known as thalidomide caused birth abnormalities in hundreds of infants. Rather than receiving a lump sum payment from the at-fault pharmaceutical business, the claimants required a series of payments spread out over a longer period of time to cover future medical expenditures. Structured settlements were introduced in the United States in the 1970s when similar cases occurred during the period. The IRS Revenue Ruling 79-220, issued in 1979, gave tax benefits to the beneficiary. Settlement payments to the injured party did not constitute gross income, therefore they were exempt from paying taxes on any money received. Similarly, payments to the estate are exempt from taxation even after the receiver has died. Structured settlements gained popularity in the 1980s with the passage of the Periodic Payment Settlement Act of 1982 by the United States Congress. The act functioned as the federal government's acceptance of the IRS ruling and imposed constraints on state governments, prohibiting them from taxing structured settlement money from personal injury claims. The National Structured Settlements Trade Association was founded in 1985 with the goal of preserving and promoting structured settlements to injury claims through education and advocacy. About a decade thereafter, the Small Business Job Protection Act of 1996 limited the categories of personal injury cases that may obtain tax benefits. According to the statute, only payments resulting from personal physical injury or physical illness are exempt from gross income. Punitive damage payments were no longer exempt from taxation. Structured settlements are still a reliable source of financial stability today, with an estimated $10 billion in annual payments made to over 30,000 recipients. Claimants can now select between receiving recurring payments, a one-time lump sum payment, or a combination of the two. How structured settlement works. Structured settlements give the parties a high degree of flexibility when it comes to resolving disputes. This includes the ability to combine lump sum payments, make regular payments over time periods of different durations, and adjust payment amounts as needed. However, there is a standard procedure for negotiating and involving a structured payment settlement. First step. The plaintiffs and the defendant's attorneys arrange a settlement amount that comprises an initial lump sum payment and periodic payments for the duration of the plaintiff's natural life or longer. Payments may cover predicted medical care costs in the future as well as living costs, educational costs, and other necessary charges. Second step. Defense lawyers use a suitable discount rate to determine the present value of future payments. A financial specialist, sometimes a settlement broker, who is versed with investment rates of return, will typically create the discount rate. Insufficient initial corpus can jeopardize future payments and make it impossible to meet the agreed-upon payments. As a result, plaintiff lawyers sometimes ask their financial experts to confirm the accuracy of the payment computations. Typically, the plaintiff pledges a settlement of the agreed sum with the right of substitution. Third step, the presiding judge accepts the settlement and issues a judgment in the plaintiff's favor. The judge may impose certain payment restrictions in circumstances where the plaintiff is a minor in order to safeguard the plaintiff. Fourth step, even though defendants are contractually obligated to pay compensation, most plaintiffs prefer the security of having a separate insurer take on and guarantee payment responsibilities. Defendants often aim to resolve the situation and eliminate the liability from their financial records. As a result, the defendant purchases an annuity with parameters that match those of the settlement, with the consent of the plaintiff, shifting their liability to the insurer. Advantages of structured settlement: uninterruptible streams of tax-free income are offered by structured settlements. Payees won't have to be concerned about having any money from the settlement owed to the IRS or their state. Eligibility for mean-tested benefits may be affected by structured settlement payments. They might need to be set up as a special needs trust, but they won't have an impact on the victim's eligibility for government benefits like Medicaid, which is based on income or Social Security disability. Structured settlements are adaptable. Plaintiffs are free to set up a payment plan that suits their needs. Structured settlements have an unlimited lifespan. In certain circumstances, plaintiffs can make arrangements to guarantee the settlement pays them money for the rest of their lives, allowing them to avoid worrying about running out of money. You can employ structured settlements to take care of your loved ones. Some settlements include a death benefit, meaning that if the plaintiff goes away too soon, the payments will still be made to survivors. Money management may be made simpler by structured settlements. Accident sufferers don't have to worry about learning how to effectively manage and invest a significant sum of money or about having to refuse requests for assistance from loved ones. Structured settlements have a few disadvantages as well. The settlement terms are binding for accident victims. They cannot alter the terms later if it turns out they require more cash up front or the settlement in any other way does not satisfy their needs. Victims have less control over when and how they can access their money. Payees are unable to obtain money whenever they like. There could be expensive administrative costs. Victims can lose some of their money if insurers handling the settlements impose a high fee. Structured settlement payment options. Structured settlements can be structured in a variety of ways, based on the plaintiff's payment requirements and the terms of the contract with the defendant. The following are some examples of commonly structured settlement arrangements. Large initial payments followed by smaller periodic payments. If accident victims have accumulated significant expenses, such as hefty medical bills, they may arrange for a structured settlement with a large lump sum payment up front, and then smaller periodic payments thereafter. Increasing payments. Some structured settlements will begin with lesser payments and gradually raise the amount of money handed out. Decreasing payments. Other structured settlements will do the opposite, beginning with a bigger payment and then decreasing it as needs decrease over time. Delayed payments. Sometimes litigants desire to postpone receiving compensation funds until later in life. This allows payments to begin at a predetermined time. Extra payments for unusual expenses. In some circumstances, a structured settlement may pay out a specific amount of money on a regular timetable but also allow for additional payments to meet unusual expenses. Structured settlements can be used to resolve a wide range of cases. Here are some instances of structured settlements. Settlements for personal injuries. In a personal injury case, the victim of harm sues the party they consider to be at fault for the harm in order to recover financial compensation. Structured settlement funds assist recipients in covering expenditures such as medical bills and other liabilities. Compensation for wrongful death. In addition, a structured settlement is a typical method of reimbursing surviving family members of deceased loved ones. A stream of tax-free payments may be available to families as compensation for lost income following the loss of a loved one. Settlements for workers' compensation. A workers' compensation settlement may be used to resolve workers' compensation cases launched against employers on behalf of an employee who was injured or killed on the job. In 1997, the United States tax code was altered to encourage this type of settlement. Medical malpractices. Medical professionals may cause more harm than benefit in certain instances. In such a case, patients who have injuries or the families of patients who passed away could file a medical malpractice lawsuit. Medical malpractice. Structured settlement can be used to reimburse persons or family of deceased who died as a result of medical malpractice. Discrimination. This is when a person is treated unfairly or differently due to their race, sex, age, handicap, religion. Harassment. Refusal of employment or advancement, unequal compensation, and retribution are a few examples of discrimination. Claims arising from these discriminations can be settled through structured settlement. If you enjoy this video, give it thumbs up and share it with your friends so that we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell so that you get notified when we post a new video. Thanks for watching.